So, Bear, Soccer Aid, how excited are you to be involved?
Yeah, this is going to be special. You know, I think as a kid, if you said, Bear, you're one day going to wear an English shirt, even with your very limited skills, always a dream come true. And UNICEF do such an incredible job. It's kind of such a landmark day, isn't it, in all of our calendar. Soccer Aid, something always special to people. Huge crowds coming. And for such good cause, and we're such a fun group of people. So I don't think it's not going to be pretty, especially my football skills are limited, but it's going to be fun and we're going to make a difference.
Well, I was going to say, with those limited football skills, and you're going to be out there with the professionals, and sometimes for the celebrities, it's about saving face a bit. Have you got any survival techniques you've thought of already to try and save face with the pros?
A 90-minute saving face strategy. I don't know. I think that puts you on the back foot. I think in life, in survival, in football, you've got to be on the front foot. You've got to be all in. You know, I definitely, having said that, I don't want to get injured. We're in the middle of filming Running Wild at that stage. So, yeah, so we've got to stay sort of fit and healthy. But yeah, I'm excited. And I think you just got to go for things, throw yourself into it. 90 minutes, that's quite long. I'm definitely open to a bit of subbing on and off. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Am I right in saying that you sponsor an under-11s team? Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. Yeah.
Do you reckon any of those under-11s might do a better job than some of the
I
celebrities?
think all of the under-11s would do a better job. I mean, I remember going and having a kick around with these kids, and they were all like, 10, 11, and thinking, God, and it was like a load of the dads, and everyone was like, right, lads, we've got to go gentle. They're only kids. I was like, after about 3 minutes, I was like, right, okay, we're getting absolutely smashed. so small, they just like dart around your feet, and so after about 7 minutes, half of the adult team were injured.
A few hamstring pulls in there.
Well, I think about, you watch kind of professional football, and you watch like England, any international. It's like, you take it for granted how fit people are, how good their movement is, just doing the simple thing well. And then you see the likes of, we've got some training coming up for the other celebs on this with Soccer Aid. That's not going to be pretty. I think it's a very humbling sport, isn't it? And it doesn't take much to basically look like a clown. Of which I think there's going to be a little bit of that on Sunday.
Well, hopefully not. But you've done a show before, haven't you, with the former England manager, Sir Gareth Southgate? How did he get on? What did you make of him, transferring those football skills into survival skills?
Well, I think the fun thing about life and survival is it's all transferable skills. Life and survival rewards the dogged, the determined, the positive, those who can improvise, adapt and overcome under pressure. And it's the same with football. And, we had a great journey with Gareth. It was sort of pre-World Cup, and, his story was so inspirational, and we got the Royal Marines involved, and his grandfather had been a Marine. And, it was a really emotional journey for him as well. We filmed it in the UK, which is rare for us. Filmed it down in Dartmoor, home of the Royal Marines. And what a great guy he is. What a sort of true Englishman on so many levels. And love him, love his family. And yeah, proud to be a friend. He represents all of us so well.
Have you extended an invite to the new England manager yet, Thomas Tuchel? Do you think he'd come down for one of your?
Yeah, I think it'd be. We haven't done that. We still Running Wild definitely still focuses on America. We occasionally do some UK ones, but I don't know. Gareth is such an icon, and he's been for so many of us. We're sort of through our life, as a player, then as a manager, and I just love his story. I love the fact that. He had that low point, and those penalties, and yet he never gave up. And he's just a true sticker, and love and admire him, yeah.
Now, with your Soccer Aid teammates, if you had the chance to take them to an extreme training camp, where would you take them? Are we talking the jungle? Are we talking the desert? What would you do with them to prepare them for the game?
Well, it was interesting because Gareth spoke about this. He took the England team down to the Royal Marines, down to Lympstone, their commando training centre. And I think he said it was like shock of capture. They were like, hold on. They all got off the bus, like nicely coiffured, glasses on, Gucci clothes. 48 hours later, they was all head to toe mud. beaten up, a little bit broken. But I don't know, you build resilience in the outdoors, don't you? And as a team when you go through difficult things. So I think Commando Training Centre would be a great place, not an easy place, but a great place to take them. I don't know, I think there's a great spirit amongst all the celebs on this team. I think there's a power to being all in and willing to lay it on the line. Reputation, physicality, character, brand, put it all on the line for something special. And Soccer Aid and UNICEF is that. And proud to be a small part of an amazing team.
And if you were on a desert island on your own, which actually you are very comfortable with, but you only had football-related items on there to help you survive, what do you think you'd grab first?
Well, never underestimate just a humble football. I mean, we all remember Castaway and Tom Hanks and Wilson. I mean, Wilson was immortalised in the football. And ultimately, Wilson was all about hope, wasn't it? You know, companionship and the dream to get back to that girl he loves. And you know, Wilson was that comrade in the fight, so to speak. So I think never underestimate the power of hope when you're down and out. You're never down and out. Yeah. So Wilson would be number one. You know, you can do so much. So goalposts, I mean, that's firewood and kindling for a long time, and plus a whole bunch of tools. You know, spears. You can create knives and axes from wood. So I mean, you're limited by your imagination.
Yeah,
you know,
the nets as well.
Nets for fishing, clothing for fishing, and you know, collecting water, and studs. I mean, we could do something with that. You know,
I love how your mind just keeps whirring.
Well, I like this sort of thing. This for me is a fun part of survival: is the improvise, adapt, overcome spirit. You know, so yeah, probably end up eating a few teammates if it really got desperate.
Well, I was going to say, if it was in the wild this game and the food was a bit scarce, what would you have as your half-time snack? What would you be picking out?
Well, I think I look back. I have such strong memories as a kid of the oranges at half-time. And actually, having sort of lived a life now and looking back, it was so smart. It's a perfect half-time snack. It's vitamin C, natural, energy, sweet. You know, it's just a brilliant half-time snack. And actually, I look at people nowadays just having endless, like, protein bars and it's all processed. It's rubbish. And actually, nature knows best. Yeah. Kids love oranges. Stick with the oranges. Yeah, so I have every day in my life squeeze oranges. For Team England well, if your life's on the line, it's going to help you. You know, and that's a long list of things you can eat, of which I've made my way steadily through the lists over my life. But you know, you've got to keep your morale up as well. I mean, if it's an orange or a worm, I'm going with the orange.
Yeah, every single time. Don't worry, the questions continue to be quite ridiculous because in terms of the deadly animals that you've faced in some of your situations, which of them would you want on your team facing up to
deadly animals?
World 11.
I think I think probably you want some size in goal, don't you? You know, you pick a bull elephant for goal, probably. A couple of rhinos in the middle, you know, or maybe rhinos to solid defence. I don't know, saltwater crocodiles in defence, maybe.
Yeah. Snakes up the wing, maybe.
Snakes up the wing. You know, I don't know, African hunting dogs. Yeah, they work. They're the ultimate predator. Hunt as a pack, unstoppable. You know, you could put maybe hyenas in that as well to hurry everyone along. But a couple of salties, left and right defence. Nobody's going to aggressive tails. Nobody's going to get past them. Yeah.
And in the Premier League, there, the promoted teams this year, they all got relegated. It's been a disaster for them. Should the newly promoted teams look at Bear Grylls as their new manager as a survival expert? Should it be you?
I don't know. I don't want to ruin their chances. Yeah, I think in life you've got to know your strengths. Know your strengths. I think football's not one of my strengths, but I love Soccer Aid. I'm all in. I'm not sure, to be honest, I'd have a lot to add as a manager, apart from a bit of like grit and never give up spirit. I mean, having said that, you could argue in football that is everything. Ultimately, it's what makes it such a beautiful game. Ultimate team sport and the ultimate never give up reward. You know, it goes to the dogged and the tenacious. So maybe sprinkle a bit of that on them, but they can do better than me in terms of football.